You know, there's this phrase, mind-numbingly boring, you know, or mind-numbing repetition.
I can think of a few things that come to mind. Hey everyone, it's Shira. I am in my corner and I am sitting with Tarz Palomba, and she is a psychoanalyst. I brought her on Tea with Shira because she has a very interesting, how would I say, a way of kind of coming about knitting and crochet, right? You know, everyone that knits and crochets, you know, you're crafty. Some people do it because they love making things for people. And some people actually do it for the meditative element. And that's why you're here.
Yes. What this is taking knitting and crochet and bringing that mindfulness element to it. And in that way, we can sort of slow down and be in the moment.
Yeah.
Well, some people would say, knitting, crochet, it's, you know, mind-numbingly boring because it's so repetitious. Well, sometimes mind-numbing is something we want to do. When you're in pain and you go to the doctor, what do they prescribe? Something to numb the pain.
Yeah.
Well, here's a tool we can use that actually does that.
Right.
And it's, you know, it's available to us without any health insurance.
Exactly.
Either knitting or crochet achieves this end, and that is that it's bilateral stimulation of the body. And bilateral stimulation is thought to sort of break through some of the left-right issues that we have in processing memory. That can be very helpful with adverse experiences, with traumatic experiences, with worries. That can be very helpful.
Yeah. I actually think back to this one time in my life when I was going through a really rough time, and I was actually knitting a blanket for my niece. She still uses it to this day, but I was in the hospital, and this was my saving grace, you know. It was what kept me kind of grounded in a way, you know, that kind of just I sat there. And it was just knitting back and forth. I think I've actually, there is a link to this. There is a baby blanket, I promise. But it was one of my most favorite baby blanket patterns from Lion Brand, and it helped me.
Well, it's interesting you used the word grounding because it truly is grounding. It brings you back into the body, and your working memory is occupied. So it interrupts a lot of the ruminative thoughts that we have, and can help us to stop the cycle of worry by, you know, having something else to focus on and being in the body.
Interesting. So you had said something, I forgot the letters, it was what was it?
EMDR.
EMDR, and tell us what that stands for.
It stands for eye movement desensitization and reprocessing.
Okay, so explain that for everyone.
Yes, okay. And it is a therapeutic technique that you use eye movement stimulation, going back and forth, the person looks back and forth, or tactile stimulation, back and forth, to help the right and left brain connect and process a, let's call it, frozen memory. And very often what happens is that when we're traumatized, that's what PTSD is, we're traumatized, that memory gets frozen and unprocessed in us, and then we're doomed to repeat.
Just going in this spiral.
Yes.
So Tarz, I was wondering if you could maybe show me some, I guess some how would I describe them? Technique. That's a good one.
One of the most common ways to use a meditative technique is to go ahead and count your stitches. And counting is like a mantra.
Interesting.
So that's one of the most simple ways to do that. Is
so
to
just as
count.
you go, so 1, 2, 3. Good way to not lose a stitch.
It's a very good way to not lose a stitch. And people think of it as something that's very mundane, but if you realize that what it is engaging your mind with your hands, and it's bringing your mind to focus on something, It's like the way that people count sheep at night.
I was just about to ask, and I didn't want to ask because I thought it was stupid.
It's not stupid at all. And anybody can access that. You know, you don't have to do any special techniques.
Like you don't need anyone, you don't need to go see it, you can just count.
Yeah.
How often do you recommend someone to practice this to really feel the benefit of it?
Yeah. Well, when you can, because like anything else, it should not be something that you stress over.
Of course.
Meditation is something that it's a good idea to learn to do when you're not stressed out. Same thing for a craft. But if you are stressed out, you can still use it. And most people recommend even meditating every day for a short period of time. It would be ideal if someone had a few minutes every day to do their craft. Not everybody can have that. But the wonderful thing about crochet and knitting is that it's so portable.
It is.
It's so portable and accessible. So you can have it in your bag, and when you're sitting on the train, you can take it out. When you go for a walk in the park and sit for a minute. When you're waiting in the doctor's office, there are so many places that you can just pull out your knitting and crochet.
Yeah. So you don't have to like change your whole life and your way of life. It's just taking, like you said, taking a moment.
Yes.
And appreciating what our hands can do and what our minds can do, and taking those two things and then almost giving our heart like a beat.
Yeah.
Literally. Well, thank you so much for coming and talking to us. I really appreciate this. I feel so relaxed. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey, everyone. It's our last episode of the season. I can't believe it, but we're going to be coming back for season 3, Tea with Shira season 3 in the fall. In the meantime, remember, you can always follow me at Shira Roars on Instagram and Twitter, and I will roar right back, promise. And you can also subscribe, click down below, not on my teacup, but down below, to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you'll be notified every time we upload a new video, anything fun for YouTube, you'll get a notification. So, hope to see you soon. Cheers.